showing off their size, speed, power, and problem-solving abilities. These behaviors keep our whales active and engaged. SeaWorld's killer whales have inspired generations to care about our natural world, and we're excited to share their stories with you today.
Killer whales are the ocean's top predator. They use cooperation and communication, not just size and strength, to take their place at the top of the ocean's food web. At the bottom are small animals, like krill. At the top, the apex predator, the killer whale. Killer whales are as big as a bus, faster than an Olympic swimmer, high-flying and powerful.
We're going to see all of that today, and more. These and other behaviors provide an environment full of enrichment.
We spend days, weeks, months, years building relationships with our whales. This creates trust, and that allows us to do some amazing things. For example, when you visit the doctor, you present your arm to draw blood, or step on the scale to see how much you weigh. It's much the same with our whales.
Throughout today's experience, you'll see the whales moving together in unison. These synchronized behaviors help strengthen social bonds and allow them to problem solve as a group. This is just one of the reasons why they're known as the ocean's top predator. Their scientific name is Orcinus orca. Their common name is killer whale, and all 5 of our whales have their own personal names. We have our 3 females, Takara, Sakari, and Kamea. And joining us right here are our 2 males, Kyuquot and Tuar. Kamea is our youngest whale at 8 years old. Her mother, Takara, is our oldest whale at 31 years old. Takara is also the matriarch of our pod, which just means she's the leader. These whales trust us and take an active role in their own health and well-being. Through the use of positive reinforcement training techniques, we're able to teach them husbandry or healthcare behaviors. Joining us at the slide outs today are trainers Danny and Carrie to help demonstrate some of these behaviors.
Thanks, Brooke. Hi, everyone. I'm over on this side of the pool, joined by 23-year-old Tuar, and he's currently demonstrating one of the very first husbandry behaviors that we teach the whales. It's called a fluke present. Now, not only in this position are we able to get a great look at his entire underside of his body, but it also gives us close access to the easy-to-see shallow blood vessels that are located on the white underside of their tail flukes. Our veterinarians can come and collect a blood sample from those veins at least once a month, and the whales are conditioned to remain calm throughout the entire procedure. Now, during today's presentation, you might notice us offering the whales a variety of different massages. Killer whales have very sensitive skin, so this is a great way for us to build our relationships with them.
That's right, Danny. Hey everyone, I'm over here on the other side of the pool, hanging out with the largest member of our killer whale family, Kyuquot. Another important diagnostic tool we have is being able to collect animal weight. In one of our adjacent pools, we have a killer whale size scale. And once a week, we'll ask all of the whales to slide their bodies out of the water onto that scale. And we're gonna see if Kyuquot would like to demonstrate that behavior for us right here. Body from his dorsal fin on his back down to his tail flukes remains partially in the water. That area of his body is called the peduncle, and it contains some very large, very powerful muscles. So in this relaxed position, we wouldn't get an accurate weight. In order to solve that problem, we've actually trained the whales to lift up their heads and tails. And that's how we know that as of this past week, Kyuquot's weighing in at over 9,500 pounds. It's important that we weigh all of the whales on a regular basis to ensure that the younger whales are growing properly and that the adult whales like Kyuquot here are maintaining a healthy weight. These husbandry behaviors help us to ensure that the killer whales are healthy and thriving.
And the care isn't just physical. Mental stimulation and play are vital, and we surprise and engage with our whales at every opportunity. Play is how killer whales teach their young to hunt, and for the adults, play is important too. It seems that they just enjoy having fun. Making time for play is an important part of life for killer whales, and for us.
Hi everyone, Tuar and I have moved down here to the glass with our new friend Cecilia. Now, did you know that killer whales learn through observational learning or mimicry, which is kind of like playing a game of follow the leader. So they can learn by watching their moms and other whales and copying some of their movements. So we're going to demonstrate that today by having you play follow the leader with Tuar. Does that sound okay? Awesome. The first thing I'm going to have you do is take your left arm, put it straight up in the air, and give him a great big wave. And look at that, he is paying very close attention to you. Killer whales are very curious animals, and we often see them spy hopping or even jumping completely out of the water to get a better look at their surroundings. Now with your help, Cecilia, we're going to demonstrate that with a behavior called a sighting bow. So this time we're going to do that second hand signal I taught you. We're going to point at him, then throw that arm up and over your shoulder. Beautiful. Now Tuar saw that, and he is diving all the way down to the bottom of his habitat at 40 feet deep before exiting in the center.
Awesome! That was super cool, everyone. Did you guys see that? Yeah! I am down here with my new friend, Leonardo, and over here we're going to be talking about how killer whales communicate with each other. So they communicate in a variety of different ways. One of these ways is by producing vocalizations, and these vocalizations come out of their blowhole on top of their head. So why don't you show Kyuquot that first hand signal I taught you? Go for it. Nicely done, Kyuquot. That was beautiful. ways the killer whales communicate with each other. Another way is actually by tapping different body parts on the surface of the water, or even jumping their bodies out of the water, crashing back down onto the surface, because sound waves travel 4.5 times faster through the water than through air. So it can be heard for miles. So we're going to ask Kyuquot to show off one of those jumps. Ready? Go ahead and start low with me. And throw it up and over. Nicely done. Okay, Leonardo, I'm going to bring you up here to the glass so we can really watch him swim all the way down to the bottom of this 40-foot pool. Remember, he weighs over 9,000 pounds, so it takes a lot of energy to get up and out of the water. What happened? That was not planned at all, I promise. We just so happened to have this SeaWorld towel here for you to dry off. Thank you for being such a good sport today. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our volunteers.
As you can see, killer whales can communicate by leaping out of the water and making a huge splash. SeaWorld's research and observation of the killer whales in our care has shed light on the many mysteries about these incredible animals. For example, we know the gestation period of a pregnant killer whale is 17 months. That is information impossible to obtain out in the wild. However, some information can only be gathered through field observation. This is why SeaWorld works with our partners, like the Norwegian Orca Survey, to further our knowledge. Killer whales are remarkable, powerful animals, and perhaps the best expression of that power is when they hunt.
Killer whales stand apart. They have no natural predators, and just about any other ocean animal could be their dinner. Depending on where they live and their chosen prey, they've developed some epic hunting techniques. Off the coast of South America, killer whales will beach themselves, riding in on waves just long enough to catch prey. They'll also create waves that knock animals like penguins or seals from icebergs. Most importantly, they cooperate, communicate, and coordinate as a team. Here's footage of killer whales corralling a school of herring. A whale dips in and feeds, while the other whales keep the fish together with swipes of their tail fins.
In the ocean, killer whales create waves to hunt, use fluke slams to stun their prey, and they can even beach themselves up and out of the water. For our whales, it's a fun demonstration, but for you, it's time to get wet. pounds of food a day. Depending on where they live and the time of year, their prey can vary. Unfortunately, things like overfishing and pollution pose serious threats to many populations of killer whales.
Killer whales are impressive animals, and it's pretty obvious why they're the top predator in the ocean. That means killer whales are invincible, right? Wrong.
Killer whales depend on a plentiful food source and a clean environment. They're completely dominant, yet completely dependent.
When it comes down to it, killer whales are not the most powerful animal in the ocean.
Their future depends on you.
They're your actions.
Through the choices we all make.
We hold the future of killer whales and the oceans in our hands.
Killer whales continue to surprise and amaze us. They're the perfect ambassador for the ocean, limitless, connected, powerful.
But still vulnerable.
The challenges that we face can seem insurmountable.
Don't give up. Be inspired.
We can make a difference. The ocean needs our help, and that seems overwhelming, but together we can make it happen.
There's so much to learn.
So much to protect.
So much to explore. The killer whale story is still being written,
And there are simple things we all can do to make a difference.
all it takes is one choice.
One positive act, one ripple that can grow and grow.
And change the world.
Together, we've got this.
It's a brand new day. Open up your eyes. Scout through all the way. Every different creature, beautiful, unique. Just counted in the treasure of our diversity. From the highest high to the deepest deep, so much mystery. We are all inspired. Every shadow flows through each of us. As our hearts unite, every call online, we can feast alright. Let's see how marvelous is this one big world.
today, these animals have inspired you and deepened your appreciation for killer whales just as they have for all of us. We will continue to learn about these amazing animals and hope that you do too. Thank you for being with us and have a fantastic day here at SeaWorld San Antonio.